Ladies and gentlemen, gather round as we embark on a journey into the extraordinary world of a comedic genius, the one and only Dave Chappelle. When you think of laughter, you can't help but conjure images of his razor-sharp humor, unparalleled insights, and a comedic style that's uniquely his own. Dave has been tickling our funny bones for decades, leaving us in stitches and thought-provoking moments. But as we peel back the layers of this comedic maestro, we discover a man who lives life on his own terms, cherishing the sanctity of privacy and relishing the simple joys that money can't buy. Today, we're about to step inside the luxurious confines of his home and take a gander at a car collection that'll make any automobile enthusiast's heart race. But before we begin, let's take a moment to look back at his career journey. David Khari Webber Chappelle is an American stand-up comedian and actor. He starred in and co-created the satirical comedy sketch series Chappelle's Show before quitting in the middle of production during the third season. After a hiatus, Chappelle returned to performing stand-up comedy across the U.S. Born August 24, 1973, age 50 years, Washington, D.C., United States. Spouse, Elaine Chappelle, M. 2001. Children, Ibrahim Chappelle, Suleiman Chappelle, Sana Chappelle. Height, 1.83 meters. Parents, Yvonne Cian, William David Chappelle III. Dave Chappelle net worth $70 million. Dave Chappelle. To contact, please check my YouTube video description and visit my website. Early life and education. David Khari Webber Chappelle was born on August 24, 1973, in Washington, D.C. His father, William David Chappelle III, was a professor of vocal performance and the dean of students at Antioch College in Yellow Springs, Ohio. His mother, Yvonne Cian, née Reid, formerly Chappelle, worked for Congolese Prime Minister Patrice Lumumba, is a Unitarian Universalist minister, and worked as a professor and university administrator at several institutions including Wright State University and Prince George's Community College. Chappelle has a stepmother and a stepbrother. Chappelle grew up in Silver Spring, Maryland, and attended Woodland Elementary School. His parents were politically active, and family house visitors included Pete Seeger and Johnny Hartman. Hartman predicted Chappelle would be a comedian and, around this time, Chappelle's comic inspiration came from Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor. After his parents separated, Chappelle stayed in Washington with his mother while spending summers with his father in Ohio. In high school he worked as an usher in Ford's Theater. He attended D.C.'s Eastern High School for a short time before transferring to Duke Ellington School of the Arts, where he studied theater arts, graduating in 1991. Personal life. Chappelle married Elaine Mendoza Irf in 2001. The couple have 2 sons and 1 daughter. They live on a 65-acre, 26-hectare farm near Yellow Springs, Ohio. Chappelle also owns several houses in Xenia, Ohio. He told Yellow Springs residents in September 2006. Turns out you don't need $50 million to live around these parts, just a nice smile and a kind way about you. You guys are the best neighbors ever. That's why I came back and that's why I'm staying. Chappelle converted to Islam when he was 17. He told Time magazine in May 2005. I don't normally talk about my religion publicly because I don't want people to associate me and my flaws with this beautiful thing. And I believe it is beautiful if you learn it the right way. Chappelle appears in a video explaining the religious history of the Well of Zamzam in Mecca. He has also explained that his faith helped him use his career to benefit people. His great-grandfather Bishop William D. Chappelle, born into slavery in 1857, served as a president of Allen University and led a delegation of African Americans who met President Woodrow Wilson at the White House. His great-great-grandfather Robert J. Palmer was a member of the South Carolina legislature, then majority black, during Reconstruction. His granduncle W. D. Chappelle Jr. was a physician and surgeon who opened the People's Infirmary around 1915, a small hospital and surgery practice in Columbia, South Carolina, during a time when segregation prevented many African Americans from having access to health care. Career. 1990 to 2002, early career and breakthrough. Chappelle was featured in a montage of random people telling jokes in the first episode of ABC's America's Funniest People, airing on September 13, 1990. Following his high school graduation, Chappelle moved to New York City to pursue a career as a comedian. He performed at Harlem's Apollo Theater in front of the amateur night audience, but he was booed off stage. Chappelle described the experience as the moment that gave him the courage to continue his show business aspirations. He quickly made a name for himself on the New York comedy circuit, even performing in the city's parks. In addition to weekend stand-up gigs, he honed his craft at Monday night open mic performances at places like the Boston Comedy Club on West 3rd Street as late as the summer 1994. In 1992, he won critical and popular acclaim for his television appearance in Russell Simmons' Def Comedy Jam on HBO. It was his appearance on this show that allowed his popularity to truly begin rising, eventually allowing him to become a regular guest on late-night television shows such as Politically Incorrect, Late Show with David Letterman, The Howard Stern Show, and Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Whoopi Goldberg nicknamed him the Kid. At 19, he made his film debut as Yachu in Mel Brooks' Robin Hood, Men in Tights. He also appeared on Star Search 3 times but lost to competing comedian Lester Barry. Chappelle later joked about becoming more successful than Barry. The same year, Chappelle was offered the role of Benjamin Buford Bubba Blue in Forrest Gump. Concerned the character was demeaning and the movie would bomb, he turned down the part. He parodied the film in the 1997 short Bowl of Pork, where a dim-witted black man is responsible for the Rodney King beating, the LA riots and O.J. Simpson's being accused of murder. Chappelle played another supporting role in an early Doug Liman film, Getting In 1994. At age 19, he was the opening act for R&B soul singer Aretha Franklin. Chappelle attracted the attention of television network executives and developed numerous pilots, but none were picked up for development into a series. In 1995, he made a guest appearance on an episode of ABC's popular sitcom Home Improvement. The storyline had Chappelle and real-life friend and comedian Jim Breuer ask Tim Taylor for advice on their girlfriends. The character's single outing in the episode proved so popular that ABC decided to give them their own spin-off sitcom titled Buddies. However, after taping a pilot episode, Breuer was fired and replaced with actor Christopher Garten. Buddies premiered in March 1996 to disappointing ratings, and the show was cancelled after only 5 episodes out of 13 that had been produced. After the failure of Buddies, Chappelle starred in another pilot. According to Chappelle, the network was uncomfortable with the African-American cast and wanted white actors added. Chappelle resisted and subsequently accused the network of racism. Shortly afterward, Chappelle's father died and, after returning to Ohio, he considered leaving the entertainment business. He later appeared as a stand-up insult comic who targets patrons of a nightclub in the 1996 comedy The Nutty Professor starring Eddie Murphy, one of his major comedic influences. He had a minor role in 1997's Con Air. At the beginning of 1998, he did a stand-up performance for HBO comedy Half Hour. That same year, he appeared in Pilots and Pens Lost, an episode of The Larry Sanders Show's 6th season, in which he and the executives of the show's unnamed television network satirized the treatment that scriptwriters and show creators were subjected to, as well as the executives' knee-jerk tendencies toward racial stereotypes. He and Neil Brennan co-wrote the 1998 cult stoner film Half-Baked, Chappelle's first starring role, about a group of marijuana-smoking friends trying to get their other friend out of jail. It made money at the box office and remains a classic stoner film, a genre that includes the Cheech and Chong films as well as more recent fare like Judd Apatow's Pineapple Express. In December 1998, Chappelle appeared as Tom Hanks' character's friend and confidant in You've Got Mail. In 1999, he appeared in the Martin Lawrence film Blue Streak. In 2000, Chappelle recorded his first hour-long HBO special, Dave Chappelle, Killin' Them Softly, in Washington, D.C. He also starred alongside Norm Macdonald in the 2000 comedy film Screwed. He followed this with an appearance as a conspiracy brother in the 2002 racial satire Undercover Brother.